I'm speaking with Alan Zundel, Green Party candidate for Oregon Secretary of State. Earlier today, Oregon Public Broadcasting hosted a debate between the candidates for Oregon Secretary of State. That debate only included Brad Avakian, the Democrat, and Dennis Richardson, the Republican. How is it that you and the other candidates for the position have been overlooked?
That's right. I just found out about this yesterday from the other two candidates, the Republican and Democratic candidate, because I was at an event yesterday. But I found out from them that Oregon Public Broadcasting is going to do a radio show today, live, and also to be recorded for later airplay on the Secretary of State's race, and they only invited the Republican and Democratic candidates. I think this is outrageous, both from the standpoint of Oregon Public Broadcasting, with all the tax advantages and federal funding advantages they have over other media outlets, not to treat all parties fairly. I also am very disappointed in the Republican and Democratic candidates that they didn't nip this in the bud when they were first asked and say, we insist that all candidates be included, especially given that the Secretary of State is an office that's going to be obligated to treat all parties fairly.
Alan, what's your view on the role of the Secretary of State in Oregon, and how does that view maybe differ from your Republican and Democratic opponents?
My position would be in between the two. I think it's primarily an administrative office, but I think there are areas where the Secretary of State should focus on bringing the public and the legislature's attention to significant problems under their authority, and the one that I mostly would focus on is the election system, because I think that is the most important one that we need to deal with today, especially given the larger political environment. As a former political scientist, I already knew about how the electoral laws created disadvantages for other alternative parties, but what really surprised me is how pervasive this is, and when you challenge people's perception that this is really a violation of people's First Amendment rights to have a party and to have people vote for the candidates that they're choosing, that they haven't even considered that. They've taken this two-party system as somehow normal, and just to challenge it, they think you're being a malcontent and not raising any serious issues. I think, given what's happened at the national level with the crack-up of the two-party system and how we've had this polarization and this partisanship that's preventing us from getting anything important done, especially addressing the problems of a rapidly changing economy, I think that's something we need to address.
Alan, many thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. For KBOO, this is Ray Bodwell.